There are 101 different versions and recipes for sweet and sour chicken. Tonight I am frying the chicken bites for a nice crispy coating and then stir frying it with a delicious thick luscious sweet and sour sauce with lots of chunky vegetables. So let's get started. I have 1 large boneless chicken breast or about a pound of cube bite-sized chicken pieces. You can use boneless chicken thighs for more flavor. I'm adding in 1 tablespoon of light soy sauce, about 1/8 of a teaspoon of white pepper, and a tablespoon of cornstarch, giving that a good mix. And then I'm adding in 3 to 4 tablespoons of flour to coat the chicken thoroughly. For the sauce, I'm starting with 1/2 cup of water because you know we have to have lots of sauce. I'm adding in 1/3 cup of pineapple juice, and I'll be adding the chunks later. 2 tablespoons of light soy sauce, 3 tablespoons of ketchup, 1/4 cup of brown sugar, and you can make it sweeter if you wish. We don't like it too sweet. 3 tablespoons of white vinegar, and 2 teaspoons of cornstarch. And this is optional, but I'm adding in 1/4 teaspoon of Chinese 5-spice powder, and I really think it blends well with the sweet and sour, giving everything a good mix and setting to the side. First, I'm frying the chicken. I'm heating the pan with oil to 350 degrees. I'm frying the chicken about 4 to 5 minutes, flipping occasionally or until a golden crust is formed. I'm frying the chicken in 2 to 3 batches, and be careful not to overcrowd the pan. Then I'm removing the chicken from the pan and draining on a paper towel, or you can use a wire rack. I have everything prepped and ready. I'm using my wok, but you can use any pan. I have my heat on a medium, and I'm adding enough oil to the pan to coat the sides and the bottom. I'm adding in 4 large cloves of minced garlic and 1 medium diced onion. Cooking and stirring for 1 minute, and then I'm turning my heat up to a medium-high. Here I'm adding in 1 cup of diced bell peppers. Cooking and stirring for another minute or 2. And this is 1 pound of mushrooms that I cleaned and quartered. Cooking and stirring for 4 to 5 minutes, and the mushrooms will release their moisture. Here I'm adding in about 1 cup of the diced pineapple. You can add as much or as little as you like. I like the nice pop of sweetness from the pineapple. Stirring the sauce 1 last time and pouring over the top. I'm turning my heat up to high. Give it a stir and the sauce will start to thicken as it comes to a simmer. Cook and stir for about a minute or 2 or until the sauce forms. The fried chicken pieces are added back into the wok. 1 last stir to get everything coated, and we are ready to eat. You will want to serve this right away so the chicken pieces do not get soggy. There are a lot of great textures and flavors in this sweet and sour chicken. I love the fried chicken, all the vegetables, and the delicious sweet and sour sauce that brings everything together. Serving tonight with steamed jasmine rice and topping with some chopped green onions. I hope you give this delicious version of Chinese sweet and sour chicken stir fry a try, and enjoy! This Panda Express copycat recipe is simple with few ingredients, and it tastes just like Panda Express black pepper chicken. Now you can make this delicious, spicy, Chinese-inspired chicken dinner at home. First, the Panda Express recipe for black pepper chicken requires chili vinegar. It is an ingredient I probably will only use for this recipe, so instead of purchasing a product, I will make my own. And it's real simple. I have a half a cup of white vinegar and I'm adding a seeded red chili pepper. Bringing this up to a boil and simmering for about 15 seconds and then removing from the heat and cooling to room temperature. We are simply giving a little back heat to the vinegar. For the chicken, I have 1 pound of small sliced boneless chicken thighs. You can see there's still a little bit of fat. You can use boneless chicken breasts, but the thighs will give you the most flavor. I'm adding a half a tablespoon of the chili vinegar, 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, a 1/4 teaspoon of ground ginger, and 2 tablespoons of cornstarch, giving that a good mix and marinating for 30 minutes. The coarse ground black pepper is the spicy attraction of this black pepper chicken recipe. This copycat recipe calls for 1 to 1.5 tablespoons of coarse black pepper. It is a must that you grind fresh black pepper. If you use black pepper that is already pre-ground, the taste will not be the same and the pepper will be overpowering. I take 1.5 tablespoons of whole black peppercorns and grind until I get a coarse texture. You could also put the peppercorns in a Ziploc bag and lightly pound with a rolling pin or small pan. You want varying sizes from small to larger pieces of the peppercorn. The chicken is done marinating. I'm using my wok tonight, but you can use any pan. There are a couple keys to cooking the chicken and having it not stick. You want the pan or wok very hot before adding the oil. Turn your heat up to high. Don't be afraid to add enough oil. You want enough to coat the bottom of the pan, and if using a wok, pour the oil around the upper rim to coat the sides. And finally, add the chicken and spread out as best you can. Let the chicken cook for about 20 seconds before stirring. This will help produce a nice crust and prevent sticking. Spread the chicken out again, let it cook for a bit, and then stir. If you don't have your heat on high, or if you have too much chicken in the pan, you will end up with a soupy mess. If you have a good bit of chicken to cook, you may want to cook in batches. Cooking and stirring the chicken for about 5 to 7 minutes, or until the chicken is done, and then removing from the pan. In the same pan on high heat, I'm adding in a little more oil, 1 small diced onion, and 2 to 3 stalks of celery that is sliced thin and on a bias. I'm only going to cook these for 1 minute and no longer. You want to leave a good bit of crunch. With the heat and spicy of the black pepper, the celery is a great combination, adding the sweet, crunch, and pop of brightness to this dish. Adding the chicken and all the juices back into the pan, stirring to combine. This is a half a tablespoon of the chili vinegar and 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, giving that a quick toss to coat. Now for the highlight. I'm adding in 1¼ tablespoons of the fresh ground black pepper. You can add the amount to your taste. Cooking and stirring for another 30 seconds, and it's ready to eat. I love the smell of this zesty black pepper. This copycat Panda Express black pepper chicken recipe is simple, easy, and delicious. Tastes just like Panda Express takeout. I also have recipe videos for copycat Panda Express orange chicken and Panda Express chicken and mushrooms. If you have a chance, please check them out. The chicken is so tender, and the onions and celery add a nice combination and texture. The fresh ground black pepper is so zesty and tasty. It is addicting. I hope you give this copycat Panda Express black pepper chicken recipe a try and enjoy. I have 1 pound of boneless, skinless chicken thighs that I cut into about 1-inch pieces. For the marinade, I'm adding 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, 1 tablespoon of rice vinegar, a pinch of salt, a sprinkle of white pepper, 1 egg white, and 1 tablespoon of cornstarch, giving that a good mix, covering and refrigerating for 30 minutes. While the chicken is marinating, I'm making the crispy coating and the sauce. For the coating, I have 3/4 cups of cornstarch, and you can use potato starch, 1/4 cup of flour, and a pinch of salt and white pepper, giving that a good mix. This sauce is so good. I have 3/4 cups of water, 3 tablespoons of soy sauce, 1 tablespoon of rice vinegar, 2 tablespoons of ketchup, 2 tablespoons of honey, 1 tablespoon of brown sugar, 2 teaspoons of sesame oil, 2 teaspoons of sesame seeds, and 1 tablespoon of cornstarch, giving that a good mix and setting to the side. And I almost forgot, 4 cloves of minced garlic, giving that a good stir. The chicken is done marinating, and now I'm dredging in my coating mixture, making sure everything is coated well. I'm shaking off any excess coating. I'm frying the chicken in 350 degrees Fahrenheit oil. I'm frying the chicken in 2 batches, making sure not to overcrowd the pan. I'm only going to fry the chicken pieces for about 2 minutes or until they start to change color, and then I'm removing and letting them rest for a couple minutes. I'm frying the chicken twice so we can get a nice extra crispy coating. Once the chicken is done cooking the first time, I'm scooping out any excess coating tidbits and letting the oil rise to 375 degrees Fahrenheit. Now I'm placing back in all the chicken and refrying for another minute or until they're nice and golden brown and crispy. You can use any pan for this. Tonight I'm using my wok. I stirred my sauce one last time and I'm pouring into my wok. I have my heat on high to bring this up to a simmer. Stirring and the sauce will start to thicken. Letting this simmer for 1 to 2 minutes so all the flavors combine and the sauce becomes thick and sticky. Now all my chicken goes back into the pan and giving it a good toss to coat thoroughly with that delicious sticky sauce we just made. Serving tonight with some steamed jasmine rice, and you can also serve with some broccoli. Garnishing with sesame seeds. This has to be one of my all-time classic favorites. I love the extra crispy coating, and all the nooks and crannies of the coating hold that thick, sticky sesame sauce. I hope you give the sesame chicken a try and enjoy. If you like this video recipe, please hit the like and subscribe button. Remember to hit the bell next to the subscribe to make sure that you get my future video recipes. You can also find me on Facebook and at my website. Feel free to share this recipe and my channel with your friends and family. And until next time, much love!